Good morning students, I welcome you all for the online classes of business studies. Today we will be going to learn organizational structure. As in the last class of the topic organization, we have learned importance of organizing, and today we will be going to learn the organizational structure. See a student, basically a structure is there. In the big organization, when we are talking a word organization, it is not a small thing, it is a big. So this big organization will be can be classified into two. So let us see the organizational structure. It is the outcome of the organizing process. An effective structure will result in increased profitability of the enterprise. Yes, definitely, effective structure. When the structure of our organization is good, it means it is well organized, it is properly organized. Definitely we can bring many types of changes which is needed for our organization. Similarly, we will be able to earn more profit. The need of an adequate organization structure is felt by an enterprise whenever it grows in size or complexity. It is only those enterprises which do not focus on growth that can maintain a particular structure for a long period of time. However, it is important to understand that such stagnancy may prove to be detrimental to a enterprise, as those companies which do not change at all will close down or cease to grow. Yes, definitely, the growth will be very less, the chances of growth will be very less, and that company may be even close. As an organization grows, coordination becomes difficult due to the emergence of new functions and increase in structure hierarchies. Yes, definitely, when we are making growth of the business, that time organization must be organized in such a way that we can see both the organization, or we can see the growth of the organization as well as the present organization. Otherwise, with this, if our focus is only on the growth of the organization, definitely our present business can also get affected. Because of that, the organization must be organized in such a way that we can focus on both the things for the future growth and as well as the present business. So for that only organization structure is very important. Thus, for an organization to function smoothly and face environmental changes, it becomes necessary to pay attention to its structure. Peter Drucker emphasized on the importance of having an appropriate organization structure when he says organization structure is indispensable, means and the wrong structure will seriously impair business performance and even destroy it. The organization structure can be defined as a framework within which managerial and operating tasks are performed. It specifies the relationship between people, work and resources. It allows correlation and coordination among human, physical and financial resources, and this enables a business enterprise to accomplish desired goal. This particular line is enough to tell why we are learning the organization structure. Because an organization structure allows correlation and coordination among humans. The employees, the physical, machines, and the other assets, financial resource, the money. These three that is a man, money, machines and the money power is coordinated and correlated with the help of organizational structure, and this only will help us to achieve our accomplished desired goals. The organizational structure of a firm is shown in an organization chart. The span of management to a large extent gives shape to the organization structure. Span of management refers to the number of subordinates that can be effectively managed by a superior. Yes, definitely student, span of management is very important, as it can be asked in one marks question. That span of management, here it has been explained there. The span of management, it means span of management refers to the number of subordinate that can be effectively managed by a superior. So here it has been said there are many superior, but every time we are seeing under some of the superior many people want to work, and under some of the superior very less people want to work, and even they don't want to work because maybe the character of the person, maybe the good and the bad of the person. So that makes the thing, then that span of that calculation what we are doing, it is considered as span of management. So span of management, it refers to the number of person working subordinate can be effectively managed by a superior. It is considered as span of management. This determines the level of management in the structure. A proper organization structure is essential to ensure a smooth flow of communication and better control over the operation of a business enterprise. An organizational structure provides a framework which enables the enterprise to function as an integrated unit by regulating and coordinating the responsibilities of individuals and departments. Let us try and understand this through an example. For example, Sunita opened her own travel agency. The success of her travel agency depends on a harmonious relationship between the customer and the employees of the travel agency. In order to achieve this objective, she has divided the entire work of the agency into 3 subheads based on the function, namely operations, sales and administration. Operation include travel counselor, reservation and ticketing and customer care. Sales include the accounts executive. Administration includes bookkeeper, cashier and utility personnel. This division of work on the basis of function has resulted into an organizational structure specifying the line of authority and responsibility. I think it is clear to you what we are learning, that is the organizational structure and how we can make an organizational structure. From this example, it is clear. She want to open a travel agency. So, success of our travel agency depends on a harmonious relation between the superior and subordinate. So that can be earned when the relation between the customer and employees of the travel agency is good. So to achieve this objective, she has divided the entire work into 3 subheads based on the function. Under the travel agency, maybe the 3 functions are there, that is operational activity, sales and administration. Under operational activity, she had travel counselor she had appointed, reservation and ticketing counter she had made, and customer care. 4 counters she had made. One is the travel counselor, one is reservation and one is ticketing, and the next is the customer care. So and the next is sales department where she had made accounts executive, and the next is the administrative department where she had kept the bookkeeper, cashier and utility person. So this way she had made her departmentalization of the organization so that easily the people get satisfaction from the organization and they can get their work to be done very easy. Types of organization structure, let us see how many types of organization structure are there. The type of structure adopted by an organization will vary with the nature and types of activities performed by an organization. The organization structure can be classified under 2 categories which are as follows. Very first is functional structure and second is divisional structure. Functional structure, grouping of jobs of similar nature under functional and organizing. This major function has separate department, creates a functional structure. All departments report to a coordinating head. For example, in a manufacturing concern, division of work into key functions will include production, purchase, marketing, accounts and personnel. This department may be further divided into sections. Thus, a functional structure is an organization design that groups similar or related jobs together. So I think the student will be clear, or we can learn in simple words. Functional structure of an organization means the structure in which simple departments are formed. The casual departments are formed where product division is not there, only one product under that simple departments has been formed. So like for example, managing director is learning the business and under his business 4 departments are there: human resource, marketing, research and development, purchasing. Maybe under in this 4 department sub departments will be there or subsection will be there, but this structure in which only one product formation is done and focus of the business is towards the one business, it is considered as functional structure. Main focus of functional structure is over the departmentalization and specialization of department, like human resource, whether they are doing perfectly the work, how much development their requirement, that is considered by the functional structure. So it does the specialization of department or functions of the organizations. That type of functional structure is considered as functional structure. Or you can say in another meaning is also there, the organization which is set up according to the functions of the organization, or where the division of the organization is done according to the functions of the organization, it is considered as functional structure. Now let us read the advantages of this functional structure. The functional structure has many advantages to offer. Important among them are as follows. The very first functional structure, a functional structure leads to occupational specialization since emphasis is placed on specific functions. This promotes efficiency is utilization of manpower as employees perform similar tasks within a department and are able to improve performance, and later there will be making specialization in the employees. So that is the very first importance. Second is it promotes control and coordination within a department because of similarity in the task being performed. Definitely, human resource, they will be doing staffing work and all other activities related to human resources, human development. So that will be specialized in their human resource department. Purchase department, they will be doing purchasing related activities. So similar activity is there in that department, so that will bring specialization in their activities. So it promotes control and coordination very easy in that department, has same type of job is done. It helps in increasing managerial and operational efficiency and thus result in increased profit. It leads to minimal duplication of effort which result in economics of scale and this lower the cost. It makes training of employees easier as the focus is only on a limited range of skills. Yes, definitely. Limited skill is needed as the department is divided according to the functions. If, for example, sales department is there, what training we have to give to the department? Definitely related to sales. Purchase department, what activity we have to done? Purchase activity specialization we have to do. So it becomes easy to give training to that employees and focus will also be clear. It ensures that different functions get due attention. Yes, definitely functions of the organization will be getting due importance in this type of departmentalization. Some of them are as follows. Disadvantages we can see of the department as we have completed the advantages of functional structure. Now the disadvantages of functional structure. The functional structure has certain disadvantages which an organization must take into consideration before it adopts it. Some of them are as follows. The very first disadvantage is a functional structure places less emphasis on overall enterprise objective than the objective perceived by a functional head. Such practices may lead to functional empires wherein importance of a particular function may be overemphasized. Yes, definitely. Now when the more and more focus will be giving only on the function, like purchase department will be giving focus only on the purchases. Rest of the department will be focusing on their department. It will be creating some type of problems related to their function. Other department function will be, as purchase department will be emphasized with their functional function, with their purchase function. They will not focus on other department function. So that can be a problem which is considered as disadvantage of functional structure. Pursuing departmental interests at the cost of organizational interests can also hinder the interaction between two or more departments. Yes, definitely. If purchase department will focus on purchasing and sales department will focus on sales, irrespective of each other's coordination and irrespective of focusing, definitely they will lose the focus on organizational objective because now they are focusing only about their work and their functions. So here organizational goal can be hindered. So that can be a disadvantage. It may lead to problems in coordination as information has to be exchanged across functionally differentiated department. Definitely it will be created problem between different departments as information has to be exchanged across functionally. Yes, definitely. Sometimes it happens purchase department is knowing the information but it is not provided to the sales department and finance department. It can be created a problem of functional department. So it can be a disadvantage. A conflict of interest may arise when the interests of two or more departments are not compatible. It means when two or more functional departments are not working with the coordination, then it will be a problem not only for these two departments but for the whole organization. Let us see an example. The sales department insisting on a customer friendly design may cause difficulty in production department, as maybe the production department is not having that much resources and the help and support. Such dissension can prove to be harmful in terms of fulfillment of organizational interests. Interdepartmental conflict can also arise in the absence of clear separation of responsibility. It may lead to inflexibility as people with same skills and knowledge base may develop a narrow perspective and thus have difficulty in appreciating by other points of view. Functional heads do not get training for top management positions because they are unable to gather experience in diverse areas. It says that the last disadvantage says that as they are specialized in their own activity, they cannot help the organization in other types of departmental decision making and help. So that can be the disadvantages of functional structure. Let us see the suitability of this functional structure. It is most suitable when the size of the organization is large, has a diversified activities and operations require a high degree of specialization. There we can have the functional structure. Thank you, student. Next class we will be going to learn the second structure, that is a divisional structure. If you are having any doubt related to function structure, you can put in the comment box. Thank you.